Good morning and welcome back to Supernaturalist, the podcast where we explore the creatures, curses, legends, and terrifying paranormal events of Supernatural. Today we're diving into one of the darkest and most mythology-heavy episodes of the series, Season 2, Episode 21, All Hell Breaks Loose, Part 1. This episode is packed with psychic powers, demonic manipulation, haunted town, and one of the most shocking supernatural endings in the show's history thus far. So let's step into Cold Oak, if we dare. The Vanishing Diner Massacre. The supernatural chaos begins almost immediately and waits in the Impala while Sam heads into a diner to get his pie. Suddenly, the radio bursts into static, a classic omen in the world of Supernatural that something evil is near, and we see that often, lights flickering, that sort of thing. When Dean looks back, the diner is empty, or so it seems. He goes inside and everyone has been slaughtered. And Sam has vanished without a trace. He looks everywhere around that diner. And there's a presence of sulfur residue, which confirms that hunters know all too well that a demon was there. And in folklore, then throughout the show, sulfur is a calling card for demonic activity. And it's tied to the ancient belief that hell smells of brimstone. Now for Cold Oak, a haunted ghost town. Sam awakens in Cold Oak, South Dakota. It's a long abandoned town where every resident supposedly fled because the place was too haunted to live in. Ghost towns already carry eerie energy, but Cold Oak is something worse, a supernatural prison and proving ground. The town is isolated, surrounded by miles and miles of woods, and it's crawling with evil forces. It becomes clear right away that escape isn't just difficult, it's impossible. Now for the Acheri demon. One of the most memorable creatures in this episode is the Acheri. It's a demon disguised as a little girl. It's drawn from mythology, and the Acheri is associated with the spirit of dead children and sickness. In the episode, it appears innocent at first glance, then attacks with terrifying speed and violence. Sam dissolves it with the cast iron. That's a rare weapon choice in the series, because iron has long been linked in folklore to protection against spirits, witches, and other dark entities, and for psychic children and paranormal powers. Cold Oak is filled with people now who share one disturbing connection. They all have supernatural abilities granted by the yellow-eyed demon Azazel. We've seen some of these characters before. We've got Sam with his precognition, his visions of future dangers. We've got Andy, remember Andy? With his mind control, he can compel people to obey. We've got a new character, Lily. She can stop hearts through contact. Another new character, Jake. He can lift impossible weight. And then we have demonic influence, Ava. Remember her? She can control demons. Though when we first met her, she only had the same abilities as Sam. Things have changed with Ava. This episode turns psychic gifts into something frightening. Weapons in a supernatural war. So what is the yellow-eyed demon's master plan? Well, this terrifying mastermind behind it all is Azazel, as we know. He reveals he has been orchestrating events for decades, selecting children, feeding them demon blood as infants, and shaping them into soldiers for an approaching apocalypse that he himself wants to start. This is one of the most chilling mythology reveals of Season 2, and Sam has learned that the darkness he feared inside him was planted there before he could even speak, so it's not his fault. So now we have the supernatural time replay, Mary Winchester's death. One of the most haunting moments of the episode is when Azazel, in a dream, forces Sam to relive the night his mother died. He doesn't remember it. He was 6 months old. Sam watches helplessly as the demon enters the nursery, feeds baby Sam demon blood, and confronts Mary Winchester. Transforms a long-standing mystery into a supernatural conspiracy decades in the making. It also confirms something shocking. Mary knew who Azazel was. That revelation changes everything fans thought they knew. And about Ava's dark transformation, Ava returns as what seems to be a survivor. She's locked in a barn or shed, acts like she doesn't know where she is. He convinces Sam that she just woke up, and he tells her she's been gone for 4 months, but she's actually become something much darker. And we'll find that out a little bit later. After months trapped in Cold Oak, it seems, she has embraced her powers and she's manipulated demons and murdered others to survive. This episode uses possession adjacent corruption themes brilliantly. Sometimes the most dangerous monster isn't possessed at all, but willingly changed. And that is what happened to Ava. Eventually, Ava is killed. And after that happens, only Sam and Jake remain. The others have died. Lily tried to escape, and she was hung by the windmill. Jake has also been contacted by Azazel, and he tells him only one of them can survive, either him or Sam. Though Sam tries to choose peace, Jake betrays Sam and stabs him literally in the back, just as Dean and Bobby arrive. Sam dies in Dean's arms, and this is one of the most shocking and emotionally devastating supernatural events in the series. And it's emotional for fans watching. Now for fun facts and behind the scenes info. Cold Oak was built to feel like a horror western. The production team intentionally designed the ghost town with an Old West atmosphere mixed with horror imagery, windmills, empty streets, and decaying buildings. The Acheri is based on real folklore, as mentioned earlier. This creature draws inspiration from South Asian legend, where Acheri spirits are often tied to dead children and illness. This episode actually changed mythology forever. Before this, fans knew Azazel was dangerous. Here, they learn he has been planning for generations. And Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki's final scene was highly praised. Dean holding Sam as he dies becomes one of the most iconic emotional moments in the early seasons. Will be others going forward. The title was no exaggeration. All Hell Breaks Loose marked the beginning of the show's transition into full apocalypse mythology. And now for my final thoughts. This episode is supernatural storytelling at its best. Haunted towns, demons, psychic warfare, ancient evil, and heartbreaking sacrifice. It reminds us that in supernatural, monsters are terrifying, but destiny can actually be worse. Thank you for joining me on Supernaturalist again. Next time we dive into part 2, where deals are made, revenge ignites, and nothing will ever be the same. Please remember to like and subscribe and share this episode with other supernatural fans. Thank you and have a great weekend.